everyone, it is Holly and I am back with another Run Disney related video today. And today I wanted to do a little overview of what the Run Disney race season looks like. Now I'm specifically going to be talking about in-person races, and I'm only going to talk about Disney World because things in Disneyland right now are a little weird. So there is some construction going on, so there is, I believe, one more race scheduled for Disneyland and then nothing for like the remainder of like the 2025-2026 season. And I don't, like, some people think they'll never come back. I feel like they will, but I don't know. So we're gonna just talk about Disney World because that is pretty solid right now. I'm newer to the Run Disney World and I find it can be very overwhelming to just get all this information, and there's so much that people have learned just by doing this for a long time. And so that's why I like making these videos, to try and share what little information I have picked up. I'm also not going to address the concept of a perfect season in this video because I think that's a very personal choice and it's not something I've honestly given a ton of thought to, and it also becomes a little toxic on the internet sometimes. So I am just staying wide and clear of that. I will say the season used to overlap. So it used to be like 2024 and 2025, and it would start in the fall and then go through the spring of the following year. But about a year ago, Disney decided that they were going to change that, and now their race season was going to follow the calendar year. I think a huge part of that is they made the decision for Club Run Disney to run as a calendar year. And I do think that's a little easier for people to understand. So now the beginning of the Disney race season is marathon weekend, and this takes place in January. It's usually like the second-ish weekend of January. It depends. It's really going to vary depending on where like the holiday lands and everything. This weekend is also the only weekend that features 4 races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a full marathon. It is the only one that features a full marathon. The themes are typically Pluto for the 5K, Chip and Dale for the 10K, Donald and Daisy for the half marathon, and Mickey and Minnie for the full. And there's usually something else. Like I think 2026 is going to be like a bookish themed. Am I sad I'm not going? Yes, because I feel like that would have been perfect for me. But it is basically those characters. There are also 2 challenges throughout this race weekend. So there is the Goofy Race and a Half Challenge, and that is where you do the half marathon and the full marathon. And then there is the Dopey Challenge where you do all 4 races. Now, if you do Dopey, you're actually getting 6 medals: 5K, 10K, half, full, Goofy, and Dopey. But you don't register for Goofy, you just get it included with you. This weekend tends to be a little on the cooler side because it does take place in January. I have done it twice, and I dressed up as Pooh the first time, and I wore full-length leggings and a long sleeve shirt and then a short sleeve shirt to be like Pooh's crop top, because I'm not brave enough to show my stomach, but I was gonna crop that shirt. So I had like my yellow shirt to be like his skin, and then I like cropped the red shirt. So I had that and I was pretty comfortable. And then this past January, it was definitely chilly. I think I ended up wearing my long sleeve yellow shirt again, and then just capris, but it definitely tends to be a little on the chillier side. I've also heard people say that they don't love this being their half marathon race because, especially if it's like the first time you've ever done a half, you feel like people don't care about you, or even people who do the full, they feel like people don't care about people who just did the full marathon, which is insane to say that you just did a full marathon, but that like dopey people get all of the attention. So if that matters to you, either if you don't want the attention of people like acknowledging you in the race and everything, I don't really wear my medals around, but I do, even though I'm socially awkward, I do typically congratulate people when I see them in the parks with their medals. So if you want that attention, maybe if you want to do just a half, maybe skip marathon weekend because you might get less attention. I've just seen people say that. Or if you want less attention, maybe you do want to do this one. Next is the Princess Weekend, which takes place in February. This typically occurs sometime over the, what I would call President's Week holiday. So I'm in the Northeast of the US, and so here we do get that week off. Like it's like a school break the whole week. I think in some other places, if you hear anything, it's Oscar digging at his food. I believe in other places in the country, you just get President's Day off. So But that's part of the reason this tends to be a pretty busy time of year to be in Florida. I am going to be there for Princess next year. TBD if I'm going to be doing any races. Here you have 3 races, 5K, 10K, and a half marathon, and you have 1 challenge, the fairy tale. It's usually the fairy tale challenge, which includes just the 10K and the half. So if you wanted to do all 3 races, you do have to register for the 5K separately from the challenge. Lately, the last few years, you have also had yoga here. Historically, it has been in Magic Kingdom, but I believe in 2025, it was in Hollywood Studios. So, you know, look into that. I've done yoga before at a race weekend. It was fun, but it was a lot to wake up. I did all 3 races in the weekend I did it, and to get up 4 days in a row at like 2 a.m. was a lot. And then I had to wake up early for my flight. So, you know, this one, the themes do change in that it's different princesses, but it is always princess related. There has been, in the time that I have been monitoring it, a lot of Frozen. Yeah, a lot of Frozen. And I've heard things about the vibes of this weekend, but as somebody who's never done it, I don't fully want to talk, like, I don't want to talk on it. And sometimes I feel like people on the internet just like to complain. Some people say Princess is their favorite weekend, and some people say it is their most annoying weekend to go to. Next is Springtime Surprise. So this typically takes place in April, around tax day here in the US. How do I know that? Because I often can't go because of that. I have done this weekend, and it was when it took place right after tax day, which was awesome. I could go. This is 3 races. It is a 5K, a 10K, and a 10 miler. And this one has a challenge, but it includes all 3 races, because really the normal like half and 10K challenge is 19.3 miles. 5K, 10K, 10 miler is also 19.3 miles. This one is also the newest weekend. I believe the first weekend, that's part of why it was called Surprise. And I believe that first season that they did it, the races were all like returning race themes. And I think some people thought that that's what this was going to be every time. That has not been the case. They do have different themes, and you just never know what the themes are going to be. So when I did it, it was like an adventure-y theme. So it was like a Tinkerbell Peter Pan 5K, the 10K was Up, the half was the Lion King, and the 10 miler was Lion King, and then the challenge was like the Ohana challenge. This past season, it was like Heroes, so I don't remember what the break, I know the 10K was Hercules because I really did want to go and do it. But I think it was that, Baymax was something, The Incredibles was something. So you just never really know what you're getting into with Springtime Surprise. It really is a surprise. At Springtime Surprise, they do have yoga. I believe every time it has been at Hollywood Studios, I did it at Hollywood Studios. I enjoyed it, but I have to say that there is something, I think I would only sign up for yoga again if it was going to be at Magic Kingdom, just because it's a lot. This weekend is generally pretty hot and humid, and that is one of the reasons I think they don't do a half marathon. You just need to prepare, hydrate appropriately. When I did this weekend, I believe they pulled the pacers back, like had them slow down by like 30 seconds a mile because of the heat, especially for the 10 miler, and it was pretty rough. There historically has been a paid event at a water park for this for a couple of years, for Typhoon Lagoon, but I think in 2025 it was canceled. I'm guessing it just didn't sell enough tickets, but so I would guess that's not gonna come back. But we'll see. I will say, as somebody who's been to Typhoon Lagoon after hours, it is amazing. It is wonderful. But I went for Moonlight Magic, which was free. So, and then the last weekend is Wine and Dine. So this used to be like the starting race weekend. This is also my first race ever, was Wine and Dine. So here you have 3 races again, a 5K, a 10K, and a half, and you have a challenge that features just the 10K and the half. The themes will change, but it's typically food related or like food adjacent. So like last year, the 5K was Swedish chef themed. There's a lot of Tiana here. There's only so many cooking. I think the year I did all 3 races, it was Alice in Wonderland. The challenge was Figment. Encanto was the half. I can't remember what the 10, I think the 10K was Alice, so I can't remember what the 5K was. But yes, they're usually like tangentially food related. And this one, there is an Epcot after hours party, I believe the night of the half. And you can either pay to go to this event, or you do get admission included if you register for the challenge or the half marathon. So like if I was doing it and my dad was with me and I was doing like the half, I would have my ticket included, and then he would just have to buy his own ticket. And I know with the ticket included, you get like a $10 gift card, but I think that comes with the ticket that you could purchase as well. So you can use that for like food and everything. And usually you get entry to the parks at like 5 p.m. and then it's till the park closes at 9, and then it's open for like 2 hours after that. There's usually a specialty drink. The one year I had a ticket, I ended up not going. You can often sell your tickets on Facebook, like RunDisney, Run Marketplace. I didn't do that because I was like, no, I think I'm gonna go. And then I was just too tired to go, so I didn't go. But you can do that. And if you're looking for a ticket, you can usually find them on there, especially if you don't happen to buy them. Those tickets don't seem to sell out pretty fast. So, you know, but I've heard good things about the Epcot after party. A lot of people, it's like one of their favorite things. I've just never done it. And this weekend, I think it's kind of a mix when it comes to the weather. You never know what you're gonna get. It's just that time of year. You don't know. You don't know. So yes, but that is just my little quick overview of the Run Disney race season. I hope you enjoyed, and if you were looking for some information, I hope that this was helpful. I didn't want to like overload you with information, just give you like kind of a high level overview. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.